Hey, welcome everybody on this beautiful Sunday evening in January. We are so glad that you are here as you come alongside, listen to Ann Sieg and I. Just would love if you'd let us know that the sound and audio are coming through. In fact, that reminds me, I want to go over here. Yep, my sound is muted over there, so I hope I don't get any kind of echo this time. What you're seeing, besides Ann and I here, is a slide of our very recent Dallas January 2019 trifecta. In fact, we haven't even been home a full week yet, and we're really enjoying the results. We're going to share some of that with you tonight, and what some of these members are stepping on up into in the e-commerce masters program. We got a special treat for you, a link if you haven't done it already to go listen to Brian's full presentation about his inspiring journey and all that kind of stuff. So, and we did it again. Sometimes, we don't know if we're going to pull it off going into it. Sometimes it's a little bit shaky, even though we've done it dozens of times. But this was another home run event, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, and I thought maybe you were talking about putting on this live was shaky. The event, nothing shaky about it at all. It was fantastic. That's the number of folks there. And hey there, Judith. Thanks for showing up for the live here. And we are going to be sharing from our members who just attended. It was one weekend ago, Kurt.
That's right.
Yeah. So there you can see Judith next to her husband, Dennis. He's in the wheelchair, and Judith was kneeling down. So that was Judith. And hi there, Karen. Welcome. Great to have you here. Anyone else who's watching, just let us know. All right. So go ahead, Kurt.
I threw up a slide. I'll have a few slides of the event here, a few slides of Brian, because at the end of this, if people want to know more about you, about us, or about our mentorship program, we're kind of putting a spotlight on Brian's inspiring story this week so they can listen to the whole thing that happened in Dallas. So this is a picture of you and Brian training in Dallas, and we're just going to talk about Brian here just for 3 or 4 slides. So once again, both of us, are just so pleased and enjoy working with Brian and all that. If you want to tell a little bit about the event this weekend and how you felt it went with Brian and why people love him and his story so much.
Well, I want everybody to know he is the director of training and coaching here at the E-commerce Business School. So yes, he was a trainer at Trifecta. Danita, also one of our master trainers and coaches, she was training as well. Hey there, Greg. Great to have you here. And so he played dual role. He was a trainer at the event, did a full day and a half of training. He did half of the online shopping profit system, which was on Saturday, and of course the entire day of the book flipping profit system. Preceding that was Shop Your Way to Wealth with Danita. We got a massive, awesome kudos for Danita, for whom Danita was once upon a time a student of Brian's, mostly under the book flipping profit system. And of course, much of what he's taught on Amazon throughout a really extensive back office, everything from the ASD trade show, where we were the featured training company of choice, and Brian trained there with his good friend Josie, Dr. Josie Shepard. But so he was there in that dual role as the director of training and coaching, as the trainer. So what this means is that he's the one who creates the structure of the event. I do not structure that. That's his responsibility as the director of our events, which are an extension of our training and coaching. So a big kudos to Brian for that. And it was nice. It was a rinse and repeat from our first ever trifecta, which was July. And this one was as spectacular, maybe if not more. We're going to be sharing with you the survey results. That's something that we always do at the end of our workshops. We want feedback, as Coach Kurt likes to say, feedback. It's the breakfast
of champions.
That's right. That's right. So we like to take good, healthy gulps of that, getting the feedback from the members. And it was, I don't know if there was even anything less than a 5 for all workshops. I'd have to go back and see. Sure, there were some recommendations here. Could you do this? Can you add that? But in terms of the delivery of the training, Kurt, I didn't see any 4s. I think it was all 5.
It was all 5s, yeah. And Ann, I'll get to those. And I should have told you this beforehand. I just realized I'm using my Zoom account and we will
Yeah.
time out at the bottom of the hour. So we got
Oh,
20 minutes here, and and Brian, I'm going to go through just a couple slides here.
okay.
Brian is no and then we'll get to those results and some more pictures of the
Okay.
events and stuff. But Brian is no amateur, if you will. I mean, this is him at ASD training there in front of hundreds of people. I've told that story a few times this week. Here he is with Dr. Josie Shepard. You might want to explain the slide here with him with two of your sons in China.
Actually, this is from ASD Market Week. If I'm looking at the right one.
It's
Oh, okay, we're on this one.
Yep.
There was a delay. That's
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so Brian and I went to China in 2016. That photo in the lower left is my middle son, Robert, who is a sourcing agent in China. We're actually in the city of Yiwu. That's spelled Y-I-W-U, Yiwu. And it is the largest ongoing trade show in the entire world. It's actually the entire city is a trade show. And then my son, David, many of you know who he is because he is our customer care main dude over there. And so he's likely answered your questions through our support desk. And Brian is, here's what I like. We were talking about personalities, Kurt, right before this. He's easygoing relative to food, no problem. Cupping on the back, no problem. It's this interesting procedure when we went out to get foot massages as a result of all the walking we were doing, but just so easygoing. Can handle the rigors of almost anything, and really a lot of fun, and always such a care for the members. We had a whole group of members that we took with us. He would, after a full day, then be working with the members for like 3-4 hours in the evening, when really he's probably due for a rest, but it's because of his love for helping people. Lifestyle, Brian's got it. He's actually in Cabo, Mexico right now. They just left on Saturday, he and his wife, Terry. And so they've got their motorhome. That's his third upgrade. The fourth one is a much bigger upgrade. It's actually a 33-footer, but goes on cruises and trips, and it's for this reason. His Amazon business is nearly 100% automated because he's putting systems in place to make that happen for himself. So he's not needed in the daily operations. He's got a VA team in the Philippines. What does that enable him to do? To have his ultimate business lifestyle, and his passion is teaching other people. And so, yes, vacations and travel, but man, does he ever provide a lot of training and coaching here.
And his story inspires our students. And, when you go looking for more faculty, more staff members, more people to continue to propagate your heart and vision for the e-commerce business school, you look for those kindred spirits. And it really is, oops, let me move that over. You look for those kindred spirits, and it really is. You're talking about your relationship with Brian. You go after, you seek after, and you cultivate those relationships through our community. And one of the primary ways you do that is through the e-commerce masters program, where after people listen to Brian's story, if they want to know more about that, it's kind of the main track to get into closer to the mentorship you and we provide here at the e-commerce business school. But these are just a few more shots of you cultivating those kind of relationships and some of the people here.
Okay, I got to just talk about Candace right there, or Candy. Yeah, Candy. There's Candida, Candy. Anyways, Candy went to China with us on the trip with Brian, and her husband is a surgeon, specialty surgeon, and they went with us and hadn't seen her. She came up through Shop Your Way to Wealth, and then, all the way to China, and come to find out she has this really high level business partnership that developed as a result of her knowledge and experience that she gained at the e-commerce business school. Basically, it's a wholesaler who was so impressed with Candy's skill, again, that she developed here, that this woman is really appreciating Candy's knowledge as an Amazon seller. And they have actually formed a business partnership. So she asked, hey, because Dallas is where she lives, can I pop in and say hi to you guys? So that's me, Candy in the middle there, and that's Lisa Celine, our operations officer. Hey there to Lisa in the house, and hi there, Deborah. Great to have you. All right.
So, Ann, really what you do is you look for those relationships, you build those relationships that you at ASD training. I'll go ahead and skip over that just for sake of time. One of the things that we do in our higher level mentorship program is really get to know people. We do a roadmap for their success path, and then you, along orchestrating your staff of Brian Cummings and Lisa and Sharon and Kurt and Josie, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Sharon is help cultivate it. One of the funnest expressions of that, and people can find out after this link here that we're going to give that right there on Facebook. You can hear more of Brian's story, which is very inspiring. You can then right after that link and find out more about the e-commerce Masters program at the end of this presentation. But this is kind of, I don't want to say a culmination, but definitely a centerpiece of the whole e-commerce Masters program, as you have to be in that program to come to this event. If you want to share a little bit about this in your heart for it, Ann.
Yeah, this is the Ultimate Business Lifestyle Retreat in Estes Park is where we hosted that event. And at the e-commerce Masters program, the distinction is you really want to develop yourself as a business owner and an entrepreneur. You've moved above the cash flow systems that we have, and now it's your mark. I'm going full bore as an entrepreneur. I know that I need that community support, all the mentorship, the business mentorship that we provide. And so we call it UBL as our acronym, Ultimate Business Lifestyle. That is a focus on you, because you can learn all the techniques and strategies in the world, and we teach those. But the greatest predictor of the success of your company actually is going to hinge on you as the CEO, as I like to say. So goes the CEO, so goes the business. So at this event, this 2-day event, we really focus on you and developing you as a successful entrepreneur. It's a really awesome weekend. It's not all the strategies of e-commerce. It's really focused on the entrepreneur.
And then after Brian told his story, in which we have a link for where they could do that, they can then also, if they want to, go and listen to your presentation to really understand the full scope of the e-commerce Masters program, including the e-commerce roadmap to a 6-figure income. I'll come back to that if you want to in a moment, but I want to get to the slides that you created for the event now. So got a lot on my screen here. Let me see if I can't just get to those first here and help you walk through those. So you just tell me when you want me to change slides.
That's just a slide there from our event where I was introducing to the members there. I should have typed in the word trifecta there, but yeah, so these are the trifecta survey results. Okay, I don't have my slides 100% cleaned up there, but let's just go through this. So I'm going to, like I said, we believe that feedback is the breakfast of champions. So we send out a survey after all our workshops. Now, trifecta is actually a total of 3. So there's 3 separate workshops, and actually the vast majority of the people who came attended all 3. Okay. Hi there, Jade. Jade from the Philippines is here. She's one of our staff members. Hello, Jade. And hey there, Johnny, welcome. All right, so here's what Debbie and John Kane said. This is hands down the best training of any e-commerce training we've ever taken. We felt so welcomed and a sense of community we haven't experienced previously with other courses and events. We highly recommend this course and workshop to anyone wishing to take their e-commerce business to the next level. That's Debbie and John Kane. They were actually referred here by another e-commerce seller. And she said, Ann, you really serve your community members well, and I want to introduce your services to them. So this couple came into the community like 2 weeks before Trifecta. It was the end of December, and they made the decision to come to Trifecta. So again, they say it was amazing, professionally organized and presented. The hands-on training took the course up to the next level in helping us prepare for implementing profits quickly. Questions were answered thoroughly, leaving us highly motivated and with the confidence to succeed. And by the way, not all of these are going to have a name, because that was an optional field for our attendees to leave their name. So you can move to, there we go. Again, so much valuable information. I appreciate the way Brian has broken it down to make it understandable for us newbies. And that is really important. I just want to make a quick teaching point there. It's one thing to have someone who's super advanced and knowledgeable. That's great. It's awesome. But it's a whole other thing to take that knowledge and experience and come down and meet people at the very beginning level and explain it to them in a very patient, step-by-step, methodical way. That is 100% completely different skill set than being highly accomplished. They are not one and the same. I saw that when I was a sports coach for 15 years, and it holds true here, of course, in this industry, training e-commerce sellers. All right, you can, did I read this one? No, okay. Did not attend all sessions this day, but even the brief time I was there, I learned new things. Truly appreciated Brian sharing his journey. Thank you, Brian. Okay. Here's a little lag time, Kurt, while I watch for it. Okay, there we go. Love the support and accountability to nudge me into action. I really like that because that's where we're moving people towards. Can't have results without action. So we teach and train and mentor, but we want you into action. Brian did an excellent job explaining and answering questions. The hands-on or the on-hands training was very helpful. Okay. I really learned how the system works. I'm going to guess that's referring to the book Flipping Profit System. And it is. It's a turnkey system. It kind of plug and play. You do have to work it, but that's what happens. Here's Sabrina. Trainers, staff, supportiveness from fellow students. You have really done a great job of creating a community where everyone is welcome and everyone is genuinely happy for your success. It reminds me of my church. Come as you are mentality, says Sabrina. Okay. Well, there we go. Brian is so realistic about what it really takes to be successful. I also like that we do so much hands-on during the workshop instead of a whole sit in your chairs the whole time. We get people out and we get them interacting and learning and implementing. Here says William, as an information junkie, this workshop was outstanding and I look forward to attending more. And by the way, William became a brand new e-commerce master's program that very weekend. And Sabrina already is an EMP member. Here's William again. It forced me to actually complete the video training and open my eyes to information I had previously made assumptions about. Both Danita and Brian were outstanding instructors, again, says William Miller. Okay, and here's Judith. Judith is in the house watching, meeting everyone as well as picking up more nuggets of info that go beyond the training in the back office, says Judith Calhoun, who is there with their husband, Dennis. Okay. And Judith again, I could have stayed and listened to Brian for hours and hours. But more importantly, it really got Dennis involved. He was supportive as far as running the back end of our business, but he really started to see the potential. We went to a Friends of the Library sale yesterday, and he was actively involved. I love it, says Judith. That's a really big one because we really do encourage people to work with their spouse. And so our workshop helps solidify it for Judith. I could have stayed and listened to Brian, and although I've been at almost every call he has done since moving to the acceleration level and then e-commerce master's program, I still learned a lot, but it was way too short, says Judith Calhoun. We have been known to have 5-day workshops, Judith. Hope is in sight. All righty, Judith, again, between Danita and Brian, they added so much value to the courses in the back office. Thank you for this event, says Judith. Okay. Okay, instructor, very thorough, very patient and willing to help the students. He did step-by-step in an easy to understand language for all of us to understand. He went over and over how to price the books, how to apply the 3 important things to help you decide if we should buy the book or just move on to the next one. And that's referring to Brian there. Brian Cummings took his time in explaining and if necessary, explaining again. He was so good at answering questions. He is a great teacher in person. I think this workshop has great information. Because I'm very familiar with the program, I was afraid I might not enjoy it. However, I was very wrong. Lynn here says, excellent teacher. Brian was spot on. His teaching methods were really good. I especially like the student participation during the analyzing the book portion. And Lynn is an e-commerce master's program as well.
So we have lots of feedback. Like you say, it was so positive and so great getting to know. I would say maybe 80 to 90% of the room were brand new faces to us and enjoying. We had some really awesome old timers there like Rich and Don and others, but it was just really, really great. And then after Brian's story, which the link here in the Facebook Live, you can click on that link and hear first the full 40 or so minutes where Brian shares his story of his journey that inspires so many people. And then if you want, you can continue on another link or two and hear Ann talk about the presentation that she gave in Dallas about, we've mentioned it several times here tonight on this live, the e-commerce masters program, which she gave there in Dallas. It'll have more of a fuller expression of all that. And if you're interested, you're going to be able to step up and have a consultation with one of our business advisors also. And Ann, we've got about 4 minutes left. But part of the e-commerce masters program, it's not a one size fits all. And we really do bring people into a pathway where we come alongside them and help them not only design, but fulfill their businesses to fulfill their aspirations for a lifestyle, because it might not be the same as Brian, although some are. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll call it a wrap here for tonight.
Well, you're right. It's not for everybody. I'm referring to the e-commerce masters program. It's for those who really want to grow and scale their business such that they have greater control rather than being reliant solely on one platform. For example, Amazon is to expand using Amazon and to grow their own business assets so that they can become what is, as defined by Robert Kiyosaki, a true business owner. And what a true business owner in his definition means, that they can walk away from their business for a minimum of at least a month, at least 1 month. That only happens when you learn how to set up systems in your business. For our cash flow programs, they do the sole purpose of helping you build a foundation, build cash flow, but they're really not the asset building programs. They don't allow you to set up a system that you can walk away, other than, I would say, online shopping profit system, because you do learn how to hire VAs to do a lot of the work for you. However, you're still going to need to ship those products out. And yes, you could have someone do that shipping for you, which many of our members do. They hire or train someone to do their shipping. But to have assets that you own and control, such as an email subscriber list, your following, your private label products, your own website, that's when you have business assets that you can then sell for a profit. So it's really for those folks who want to play at a bigger level, a bigger game, and really in there for the long haul, to dig their heels in and expand their e-commerce business above and beyond our cash flow system trainings that we have. So what we're going to do here is, again, as Kurt shared, there's a link for you. It's bit.ly/Brian-Cummings. All righty. And he is going to give this fantastical historical overview of his 10 years as an Amazon seller, and what one might say are hard lessons learned. In other words, here's what I might have done differently sooner. And that's what happens. You zoom out and you look back and you go, wow, I would have done this stuff. I'm the same way. I've been online for 15 years. So it's, yeah, this different, this different, this different. And then you get to benefit from those hard-earned lessons. So I highly encourage you to go and listen to that. It's about 30 minutes in length. You're going to get a ton of value. Have a pen and paper out. You'll learn from it. And then after his overview, then you're going to learn more about our e-commerce masters program. So if you want to have a business that you own and control, one that is, it's yours, it's your baby, like he said with his new business, Stir Crazy Gifts, that's his baby, his own website, his own line of private label products. So, Kurt, I think your Zoom is going to crash any minute here because it only lasts 30 minutes, I understand.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have told you at the beginning. Didn't think that through, and we kind of did this impromptu a little bit, and so it's always fun to get out and share the work. What I really love about Brian is he not only shares his story, which is inspiring, but when he comes and shares, whether it's trains on, he doesn't hold anything back. He wants everybody to learn
right.
from these hard lessons learned, so that you don't have to learn hard lessons, and
That's right.
you can get to that lifestyle so much faster by entering into the e-commerce business school, especially at the e-commerce master's program level, because of trainers like Brian. So thank you, Ann, for cultivating relationships like this. It's been kind of the theme. It's not by accident. It's all intentional. It's all by design. It's all strategic to create this very empowering and exciting community. So I know I'm not the only one. If anybody here listening to the Facebook Live, or whether you get here listening to the recording, go ahead and let us know how you've engaged and your appreciation of Ann or Brian, or if you were at the event. Just give us some feedback here. We greatly appreciate that too. In the meantime, go ahead and click on the link, listen to Brian's full story that just happened in Dallas, and we'll be here to answer any of your questions. So, Ann, thanks for your time too, and I think we better call it adieu before this
Yeah.
thing crashes.
If you have questions, tag one of us in the comment section below. We'll be happy to service you in that way. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Teresa, for showing up. Want to welcome you as well. And bye. Good night to you, Jade, or good morning to you down in the Philippines or over in the Philippines.
All
Bye, Kurt. Thank you.
right, thanks. Bye bye.